Alright, so the news is broke. The San Jose Sharks have re-signed defenseman Erik Karlsson to an 8-year deal at $11.45 million cap. This is very interesting because a lot of us were under the impression that perhaps Erik Karlsson would not be returning to the Sharks. And oh boy did they have to pay, because obviously, 8 years at $11.45 million is a big cap. However, of course, Erik Karlsson is a premier offensive defenseman, probably one of the best in the past generation. So I do believe he is worth the money. I myself am actually a big fan of Erik Karlsson. I really respect him. He has really great character, a good leader, and is obviously a fantastic player. However, I do think this deal is really going to hurt the long-term success of the San Jose Sharks. So the original deal was Erik Karlsson, Francis Perron for Josh Norris, Chris Tierney, Balcers, DeMello, and a bunch of picks. And now Ottawa just got another second-round pick because he resigned. So obviously the Sharks had to give up a lot, including Josh Norris, who was another previous first-round pick. Chris Tierney proved to be a good asset, and same as Dylan DeMello. And based off this trade, I think it is kind of obvious that the San Jose Sharks had the intention to resign Erik Karlsson because, obviously to give up that much assets in order to trade for a guy like Erik Karlsson was not just going to be a rental piece. And because of that, the San Jose Sharks really had to pay a big premium to Erik Karlsson, who of course was a UFA, who could walk into free agency and demand that much money, if not more, from any team. So again, I want to make it clear, I think Erik Karlsson is a fantastic, offensive defenseman who will continue to have a big impact in the NHL. Of course, he does still have some injury issues, but the pros still outweigh the cons. But the biggest issue I see, hurting the long-term success of the San Jose Sharks is the fact that San Jose does have an aging core. They still have a lot of really good pieces, but a lot of their main pieces are aging. For example, Joe Pavelski, he is turning 35 this year. Obviously still a great player, but at the age of 35, you can only kind of expect his play to start to decline in the next couple years. Joe Thornton, of course, is 39 years old. We'll see if he returns to the Sharks. Again, I don't know how much he'd be asking in terms of cap. He probably would take a discount. And then we have some other pieces like Brent Burns, of course, who is 34 years old. He doesn't act like a 34-year-old because his play has just been getting better and better. But again, guys, it's something to take into consideration because at some point, their play is just going to drop. So Erik Karlsson is signed for 8 years. Currently, Erik Karlsson just turned 29 on May 31st, so he is signed until he is 37. Not a horrible contract. If I was the San Jose Sharks, I would be trying to aim for that maybe 6-7 year deal. But again, if Erik Karlsson were to go to free agency, he would be able to get a better deal. So the issue with this contract is, of course, keeping Erik Karlsson is going to really help the short term of the San Jose Sharks. Because they gave up so much to get Erik Karlsson, it would have been a shame if he walked to free agency. However, with all their aging players, it really is going to hurt the long-term success of the Sharks. Combined with the fact that Erik Karlsson just hasn't been the most, healthy player the past couple seasons. And if it does continue to get worse, that's only going to prove to be bad for the Sharks. On top of this, the NHL has recently been rumored to perhaps not raise the salary cap as much as they originally thought, which again is going to hurt the San Jose Sharks because even though they can afford, Erik Karlsson, it's just going to hurt other pieces of the roster, including, forward depth. Of course, they do have some young pieces like Thomas Hertl, Timo Meier, Ryan Merkley, and some other prospects. But again, they did have to give up lots of draft picks in order to get Erik Karlsson. And the only thing I can think of in terms of this contract making sense for the long term is if they had plans to ship out Karlsson in 3-4 years. However, to do that, they're going to have to give up more draft picks, again, hurting their future. So where this trade does make sense, of course, like I mentioned before, is they're keeping their core together, and I think they're going to be really bolstering the roster to make another run at the Cup. The San Jose Sharks still have all the pieces to be a Cup contending team, meaning I think that San Jose Sharks probably have another window of about 2-3 years max where they're going to be a Stanley Cup contending team, but then after that I can really see the team dropping off. But anyways, guys, that's my opinion. Erik Karlsson, obviously still a fantastic defenseman. However, his cap is a bit steep with the term. Not saying he doesn't deserve every penny, he does, but in terms of the long-term success, it is going to be hurtful. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. See you guys later.